Hey, this is Brandy Clark, and you're watching Bull Sessions in the Skype Live studio.
Hi, Brandy. Welcome to town.
Hey, Danny.
It's kind of nice to have you back in the home Northwest area.
It's great to be back.
For people that don't know, Brandy is born in Morton, Washington, about an hour and 20 minutes north of here, right up I-5 corridor. And we have something in common. We both come from the same area. I have a piece of property up at Lake Mayfield.
Oh, beautiful.
So we've done some fishing. I know we've swam in the same lake, so we're kind of connected at some point.
Swam in the same lake.
I love it.
I love that.
It's an honor to be here with you today. I was with you at the CMT Next Women of Country Music Tour. You're a Grammy nominee, an ACA nominee. You've done everything. You've written songs for Darius Rucker, the band Perry, Miranda Lambert. You even got a nomination from the CMAs. Is there anything you can't do right now?
Well, I mean, you know, a cartwheel. I told you that before I came out here. Because if I could do a backflip with this guitar, no, not even without it. So yeah, no. I mean, there's a lot I can't do, but luckily, I've written some songs that people like.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Coming from a small town in Morton, Washington, as a songwriter, it always baffles me and amazes me how you can just sit down with a pen and paper and just write something and it turns into a hit song. At what age did you realize that you were going to be a songwriter or a guitarist and this is what you wanted to do? Especially from a small town of Morton. Was this something that you grew up, did your family listen to music? Were they all involved?
Well, my mom's a really good musician. She's actually here today. And
Hi,
Mom. So she definitely encouraged my brother and I both to play music, and anything we wanted to play, you know, would help us out, or you know, at least get us to lessons or that sort of thing. And I started playing guitar when I was 9, and I started trying to write songs then too. I saw the movie Sweet Dreams about Patsy Cline, and fell in love with all that music, and so I started trying to write songs like that, and you know, then I didn't for a long time, and then I got into a band in college and started writing songs again. And and I always loved songs, though. You know, even before I was writing them, and when I really look back on the artists that I love, it really is about their songs. You know.
Speaking of that, when you look at an artist, you've worked with, like I said, Darius Rucker and Sheryl Crow and Reba. When you sit down and ink on a piece of paper a song, do you have it in mind like this would be a perfect song for Reba or for Vince Gill or for a Casey Musgraves?
You know, not unless Casey's a great example because I've always written with her. So if I'm writing with her, then yes. But when I'm just sitting down to write a song, like you mentioned Reba, I never thought, oh, I'm writing this for Reba. I just try to write the song the best way I can. And because what I have found is when I try to write something that I think, oh, this is for so-and-so, it never is. I think you're just best to write just the best song you can that day.
Do you have specific days that you sit down, okay, Thursday I'm going to write a bunch of songs?
Oh, yeah. I mean, man, I wish I could write a bunch of good songs in one day. They usually take longer than that. Thursday I'm going to write a bunch of songs.
Fridays are better songs?
Yes. You know, like, for example, you know, I'll fly back to Nashville on Monday and Tuesday I have writing appointments. And then, so you just schedule time to do it, whether it be with other writers or by yourself. And, but as a songwriter, you're always looking for an idea. You know, I mean, you might have said something to me back in the green room that I thought, oh, that's a good song. Put it in my phone, kind of thing.
Okay, so it's add a word, get a third, right?
Yeah, but you didn't give me anything back there. I just want to clear that. If you hear something 2 years from now that you think I said that in that green room.
I've heard those stories about Nashville that everyone is a songwriter, walks around and they're like, okay, you say something, and then they all look at each other like, don't even go there because we all said it together.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, that's very true. Yeah. You know, and you just sort of, as a songwriter, you train yourself to hear an idea, and so that definitely happens. And, you know, when a new movie comes out, there's always, like, I don't know, there's that, we were talking about that movie Sully, which this is such a terrible example, but, you know, the next day there were probably 25 songwriters that walked in, let's write a song about a plane crash. You know, like,
oh, man.
You know, that's a bad idea. But plane crash songs are never a good idea.
No, not a good idea.
But yeah, you know, it's
especially on the in-flight songs while you're on board.
Yes,
those don't work well, especially for me.
No, they don't. I used to have this terrible fear of flying. I feel like I've conquered it a little bit. And here's a fun fact about me. And I would always hear the beginning of Sweet Dreams, that Patsy Cline song, you know, the no, when the plane would start to take off. And I was deathly afraid of flying. And I thought, I have got to get over this, because I went on a radio tour, and
Sure.
and you're flying a lot. You're flying several times a week. So I decided. I mean, one song I would listen to whenever I wanted to feel like I could do anything was Whitney Houston, "One Moment in Time."
Right.
I thought, I'm listening to Whitney on the takeoff. There's no way that plane is going down on that song.
No way. Can't.
No. And so I reprogrammed myself. I don't know how I just got on that train of thought. But
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, being from Morton, Washington, I mean, we honestly, truly live in God's country. It is so beautiful here.
It really is.
But now that you've been on a few radio tours and you get to travel the country, what's your favorite part of the country?
Well, I mean, of course, right here.
Sure.
But if you take that away, I'll tell you some places that have surprised me. Pennsylvania is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Utah.
Oh, okay.
I would never have guessed Utah to be as beautiful as it is. I mean, I think most parts of the country, there's something for everyone. There's, you might not love the whole state, but there's a beautiful place
Section
in
of
it.
it.
I mean, the East Coast is very pretty. I personally think the South is pretty. I love Florida.
Right.
That to me, that's a really beautiful state. I think San Antonio, Texas is beautiful.
Right. Sure.
But yeah, Pennsylvania, that one threw me.
The fall colors and the leaves and everything seems beautiful. Yeah,
it's so pretty.
It's fun. Just one last question for you. I know that you've been writing with Jennifer Nettles. This last album just put out. That album is amazing.
Oh,
Congratulations. What has been the most nerve-wracking for you? Was it like getting to write with a new songwriter that you've never met, or meeting a Jennifer Nettles? Or, I mean, the ultimate for me would be the moment you walked on to stage at the, at the Grand Ole Opry. I mean, that's a pretty magical moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's different things are nerve-wracking, and there's always the firsts. I'll tell you one thing that was really nerve-wracking for me. You mentioned Jennifer. That was my first tour. I went on tour with her, and it was just myself and a guitar. Mm-hmm. It was before the CMT Next Women in Country, and to me, Jennifer was this huge star, right. And such a great entertainer.
Yeah.
Like, that hasn't changed to me. She's not really a huge star to me anymore because I know her. I mean, she still is, but, But she asked me to do this duet with her, and I was just like, oh, yeah, I really don't want to do that. And I've tried to figure out every way out of it because, she could stand next to Mick Jagger and would be a star. So it's like, how am I don't know how I'm going to do this. But I really learned a lot and gained a lot and started to feel like I could do anything.
Sure.
Right. So that's nerve-wracking. I never get nervous to write with people.
Well, that's good.
Never have. And I think it's because I don't have. Some people have like a bucket list of people they want to write with. I don't.
Sure.
The people who have worked for me as co-writers were never people I sought out.
Right.
They just happened to come in. Like Jennifer's a great example.
Sure.
I just happened to be on tour with her and she wanted to write. I never would have guessed it would work out.
Right.
The people that I always think it will work out with, it really doesn't. So yeah, the Opry is always nerve-wracking.
Sure.
I sang on the Grammys with Dwight Yoakam.
I remember that show.
That was very nerve-wracking. And all people see is the performance. They don't see everything leading up to it. And those
behind the scenes and everything.
The behind the scenes is not always so easy.
No, it's not.
So yeah, those were nerve-wracking things.
Wow. Well, thank you for your time. We are so honored to have you back here at home with us in Portland. Before we go any further, our show this afternoon is presented by our good friends at Spirit Mountain Casino. So this afternoon, before we get going too much more with Brandy, we're going to ask that you all open up your bowl apps on your smartphones, and everybody tap that app. You have a chance to win an overnight stay thanks to our good friends at Spirit Mountain Casino and dinner for two. And then just after the show, on the back of your ticket, there's a little star. You're going to find Lisa. Lisa's going to get you set up because we're going to buy you dinner at Spirit Mountain Casino as well, okay? Fun stuff. Are we ready for some more music? Man, oh man, I could sit and listen to you all day long. I mean, she's written songs for so many people. One of my favorites, Miranda Lambert.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time. Miss Brandy Clark.